I'm Judy Vetter, and I live in Precinct 9. I've lived in Shrewsbury for 27 years, and I've been a town meeting member for 17 years, and I've spent the last 6 years on the Finance Committee. Grew up in a small town in Vermont, and so the town was pretty much run by volunteers, and my dad was volunteer lister, and he was even the dog officer at one point, and I used to go to town meeting with him. And his attitude was that, being a part of the community was important. And so once we bought the house, and particularly when once we had the kids and so forth, I wanted to get more involved in the community. So that's what motivated me to become a town meeting member.
My name is Missy Hollenbach. I'm also known as Melissa Hollenbach. I live in Precinct 9. And I have lived in town, it's been about 22 years now. When we first moved to the area, my husband and I are from out of New England, so we had no clue what town meeting was. And for a long time, we had no clue. Because when we lived in Marlborough, it was a city council type. And then when we lived in Westboro, it was open town meeting, and then we lived in Shrewsbury, it was representative town meeting. And then when we read in the local newspapers, about how town meeting went and how this law was passed, we were just so confused. So what happened is, for a lot of people getting involved, is the schools. So we were concerned about the budgeting for the schools and also the budgeting for the town. And we became involved in one of the overrides. And it just kind of snowballed from there, that the more I learned about the whole process, not just about schools and funding, but the municipal side as well, I learned that, that town meeting is a very big part of that.
My name is Sandy Wright. I've been the town clerk since February of 2009. And I've worked in the town clerk's office since 1986. To become a town meeting member, you have to be 18 years old, a registered voter. Basically, you just come to the town clerk's office, you pick up a nomination papers, you collect signatures of a minimum of 10 registered voters in your precinct. Papers are usually ready around mid-January. When you pick up your paper, you're given a list of streets within your precinct and an election calendar with all the pertinent dates. When the paper is returned to us for certification, as long as you have at least 10 registered signatures, your name gets placed on the ballot underneath the incumbents. The incumbents, after their term is up, they get a certificate from me asking if they want to run for re-election. If they return that certificate to me by a certain date, they do not have to take out papers. They will automatically go on the ballot as a candidate for re-election. There's 10 different ballots for an annual town election because of 10 precincts. The terms are staggered, yes, 3, 2, 1. So every year we elect a third of the town meeting members in each precinct. There's usually anywhere between 24 and 27 in each precinct. It's always the first Tuesday in May. At the local level, the annual town election must be prepared from start to finish. From the beginning, we mail letters to all town meeting members confirming the address we have on record. Next, we notify those who have moved within town that they can serve only till the next annual town election. And if they choose to run for town meeting, they would then have to take out nomination papers in their new precinct. When I came to office in the 90s, the population was around 22,000. Today it's around 36,000. I looked back and saw in 1934 there were 2 precincts. One was Town Hall and one was the fire station on Boston Turnpike. When the town accepted the Acts of 1953, an act establishing representative town government, we went to 6 precincts and 240 town meeting members. Since I've been in office, the precincts have gone from 8 to 10. Based on re-precincting laws, the population of each precinct cannot exceed 4,000 residents, and each precinct must be minus or plus 5% of each other. Re-precinct happens every 10 years after a federal census is conducted. We're now in the early stages preparing for the 2020 census.